So hey everyone, thank you very much for joining Clarity webinars. It's a webinar series where we provide the best strategies you can use to market your service, your brand during the unlock stage we're going through right now. And we're pretty excited to have you all joining us today. I'm Rehan, I'm a digital strategist and I'm a content marketer. I currently work with Clarity. We are a content creation agency. We're happy to have you all joining us today. Our speaker, this speaker today is Tejas Chaudhary. He is a growth marketer and he's a chief digital evangelist at Fantastic. Tejas, go ahead. The stage is all yours. I'd like you to introduce yourself before we move forward to the questions we have today from all of us about digital marketing.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great Sunday afternoon and probably you have a lot of questions in your mind related to digital marketing. So I am running my own digital marketing agency based out of Mumbai, and I have consulted more than 50 companies in 15 different industries, and it's an exciting space for me. I've really seen a lot of people getting great results using digital marketing, and I'm really excited to share some of them with you and answer a few questions. Get this session rolling now, I think.
Thanks very much, Tejas. So for all our attendees, we have this chat section where I already see a few of you chatting, which is great. We're going to have a Q&A session towards the end of this webinar. It's going to be about 40 minutes, so around 3:40 or 3:45, we'll start answering your questions. So all the questions that you have, start leaving it in the chat section, and we get to that right after we get Tejas to answer the questions which we received already from a few of you. Let's jump straight into it. So the first question, Tejas, we have is, why try digital marketing in this post-lockdown era? If you could share some thoughts about it.
Sure. So as after the lockdown, during the lockdown, I would take one step back before saying after the lockdown. During the lockdown, we have seen trends where time spent online has increased almost 50% than before the lockdown had started. So people are already online, consuming a lot of content, browsing different websites. So that is one big reason why digital marketing is the way forward post lockdown. Secondly, digital marketing has a very low entry barrier, so you don't have to spend a lot of money to start doing digital marketing. You can start it at a very low cost, and of course you can measure every penny you spend on platforms. So that is one great thing for people, especially for SMEs. Why you should start digital marketing post COVID.
Okay, thanks for that. The next question we have is, is it any different? Digital marketing, how is it different right now in the current situation compared to how it was pre-pandemic or even during the lockdown? How different is it right now?
So people have considerably stopped spending, like brands and businesses are not spending, and their focus is more on retaining their employees and retaining their customers. I think for a business, those are extremely important decisions which each business has to go through. And that is the reason, and that is a different, I think a lot of people have stopped advertising, while the flip side of it is that since these platforms like Facebook, Google, Instagram, all the digital platforms are based on demand supply models. So since advertisers are not spending enough money, the cost of acquiring a customer on these platforms has reduced drastically. I mean, last week I was, there was a almost 75% reduction in customer acquisition cost for a real estate brand based out of Mumbai. And that is one of the campaigns which we are running. We used to acquire the customer at a very high cost then, but now once we have resumed it in the unlock phase, the acquisition cost has gone like 75%, and that's the biggest difference right now. And till COVID, I think this is a opportunity for people who want to start and take the flavor of digital marketing and acquire customers at a very low cost. So one thing which has been different is that a lot of brands and a lot of my clients, what we are doing is we are repurposing their previous content, thus saving costs right now, because although brands want to spread out their word and resume their marketing efforts, they are still not in a place where they can spend a lot of money. So they are repurposing them. So we are helping them doing that. So I think using of existing assets is something which will be different in the unlock phase.
Okay, those are great thoughts. I also see a few questions coming in from a few people, Arun and someone by the name Galaxy. I think it's the device name. But yeah, we'll get to your questions in a bit, but thanks for sharing that, those questions. The next thing we want to know is how is digital marketing important for SMEs or even large corporations? How is it important?
Right. So especially talking for SMEs, I think like I have also worked with some SMEs and I know the owners and founders there. So usually they get businesses from their friends or families or their existing networks through reference. So these are the channels which they get their new businesses from, and digital marketing will unlock opportunities which they are not currently using, and these businesses can leverage it to get new inquiries. Secondly, they can use digital marketing to actually target the right audience, because unlike other marketing channels, digital gives you the power to actually reach your target audience, and hence you don't have to spend on all of the people who are on Facebook or Instagram. You can target the right segment, and thus your efforts will actually lead to a greater ROI.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's easier to actually communicate on the digital marketing channels, because there is less, as I mentioned already, there is less entry barrier. You don't need to spend a lot of efforts to actually go live on these platforms.
That's true. Yeah. I'm going to just add in a question from one of our audiences as well, so that we can have an interactive session. So Aaron wants
Sure.
to know how low the cost can be for digital marketing for a startup. If you could share your thoughts on that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think he just wants to know how low can the cost be in terms of digital marketing for a startup or a small company. Yeah.
Right. So see, it depends on one thing is that you can start as low as without spending anything. That is for sure. You don't need to spend any amount of money to go live on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. These platforms do not charge any money from us. If you are good
All
at
right.
as a founder, or you have a good team in place who is good in writing content or creating content, which can go on these platforms, then again you are saving the cost there. But one
Okay.
thing is for sure, that if you want to have measurable results which you can track, or you want conversions on your website, or for your business you want new orders or you want sales, I think to drive that you will need to start spending some amount on these platforms. Of course, there is no entry barrier, like there is no minimum cost for any platform. You can start with as low as 500 rupees per day, and start experimenting and start acquiring new customers immediately. So I feel that if you want to see measurable results, and you want to add your add customers to your company, I think you will slightly need to explore getting into paid advertising, and the entry barrier is very low. So trust me, I like a lot of startups don't need tons of customers at the start, especially if I'm speaking about B2B startups. They just need a handful customers to run their business effectively. So digital
True.
will allow you to get those customers at the start.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. We have a couple more questions, which I think we could. Okay, Aaron just commented that he agrees, but digital agencies have a fixed monthly costs. Aaron, I have a counter question before we answer that. Are you referring to your startup outsourcing work to a digital agency and they have a retainer? Yes, he is referring to that. Yeah, Tejas, would you like to answer that? So
Yeah.
basically, he wants
So
to. Yeah, go on.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
So see, first scenario is if you have good team in place already, you would not need to hire someone from outside. That is first scenario. Second is if if you are tight on budgets and you do not have a surplus to spend, then you don't need to hire agencies directly at the start. You can always hire someone who is an expert as a freelancer, which will be cost effective for you. And probably if you are looking to scale up your startup where you want to tie up with someone who has an experience in scaling up, and probably the agencies will be experienced in that, and that is the time you actually go to those agencies. So that is the reason why you can start small. And these fixed monthly costs, of course, I get this question all the time that my retainers are high, or I'm not able to justify it. So you can always explore agencies which work on performance marketing model, where if that agency is getting the results, they will also be paid accordingly. And such agencies are existing in each market, and a lot of agencies are happy to work in the performance model because they will grow with your startup and not just be reliant on fixed costs. So you can always go with the performance model.
maybe hiring a freelancer, like you suggested, could be a viable model. But again, how scalable is that is something which you'll have to figure out before you choose that path. And on the other hand, if you're working with an agency, there are targets defined, which again will help contribute towards your business bottom line. So you have to really decide what are your priorities. If it's just testing the market, then maybe a freelancer could work, but you really want to drive results right from day one, then maybe an agency could help. End of the day, it's your discretion, but your priorities are what you should define before you choose, who to work with. So I think that answers the question. Oh yes, Aaron says thanks. You're welcome, Aaron. So we're just going to move on to the next question. There are a couple of questions from the others, which I think will be relevant for, which will be related to a few questions we have later. So we'll club them with that. So the next question we have is, what strategies do you think companies should implement to revive their business? If you have a few examples, which also could be pertaining to B2B segment as well, that'd be great if you could share some.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, everyone is interested in reviving the business because, yes, last 3 months, a lot of businesses have taken a hit on their top lines, and it is a relevant question. And day in and day out, we are trying to consult our clients to revival part of this business. So, I mean, what right now in the downtime, what we prioritize and what I recommend most of the people to do is to actually speak to your customers. I mean, that is the first step, because your customers, your current customers, are the ones who are allowing you to survive. So first speak to them, know their pain points now, because even if you are adding a value to the business, they will have a lot of pain points already because of this scenario. So please try to know them, try to understand them, empathize with them, and if in your capacity, do try to solve them. Because at the end of the day, if you're solving their problems, you are going to survive and you're going to grow your business. So I think that is the first thing. And try to, if you're speaking to them, you'll get so many ideas. Trust me, because even yesterday I was having a call with my batchmate, and we spoke over 30 minutes, and I got to know so many insights. Like, he's a brand manager in a coffee business. So he was saying that the coffee consumption has increased drastically because of lockdown, because cafes are not open and people are consuming a lot of packed coffees. So I mean, such kinds of insights I can only get if I talk to a lot of people. And I can, so since I have one of my clients who sells coffee, so I can definitely push that client to spend more, or tell that market is changing, and share those insights accordingly and use it for my efforts. So that is one thing. Secondly, if you, let's say, if you're a B2B business or you're a service B2B business, So it's always impactful if you start offering some free consultations or start offering something like a free resource, because right now you have to face that a lot of there is a lot of cash crunch. People are not spending immediately, they are cautious while spending money. And if you start offering free consultations to your prospects, you will definitely they can definitely see that you can provide more value to them, and then you can convert your business after that. So always have like at least 30-minute consultation or 60-minute consultation free of cost, which is not taking a lot of time of your life, but definitely if you can add value to your prospect, I feel that has worked a lot for me. Even at my business, we actually were 50% of our business during the lockdown. But when we reached out to our customers, we reached out to our prospects, it definitely helped us get back to the pre-COVID levels, and now we are again back to pre-COVID. So I mean, if I'm offering a lot of value at the start, clients are sensible enough to actually trust you and give their business to you. So that is something which can help revive your business.
All right. Those are great thoughts. Thanks for sharing that. I'm going to take one question from the audience. It is about buyer persona. Abdullah Sheikh wants to know what are the efficient steps to create a buyer persona.
Okay. So I think one of the things you can always do it is by actually checking who is your competitor. I mean, that's the fastest way to do it is your competitor, what products or what services they are selling, and the kind of imagery or the kind of language on their websites or their social media. You can always go and try to assess whom are they targeting. Are they, let's say for example, one of the brands so we are working for a sterilizer business, basically an electronic based sterilizer. So that is something new product in the market. So that product is to be focused to all the B2C customers. So they want to move, so they are a traditional B2B business, but they want to move to B2C. So to understand who will actually take their product or buy their product, we actually went to their customers, existing customers, what are the key pain points. We also researched some competitors and what kind of communication they are sharing on the digital space. And it's so digital marketing will give you tons of data points to research about your competitor, research about your buyers, and use those data
Sure.
points. So we saw that some of the competitors are actually using families in the image. They are using everyday things. So we could judge that, and we knew that for a B2C product, we will need to actually relate to them on a daily basis, because that's how this product will fit in their lives. So this is where you can actually set up your buyer persona. What do they do on a daily basis? What is the easiest way to identify that this product is going to help them? So all these factors you can actually read from the existing customers or existing competitors, and then this is the fastest way. I mean, there are traditional ways where you do focus groups, you do in-depth interviews, but in today's day and age, I mean, if you want to really set up your buyer persona in a blitzscale way, you can use the existing data points.
All right, that's a great insight into how to research or define persona for your business. We just move on to the next question. So, I mean, basically, now that a lot of companies have actually started focusing on digital marketing during the lockdown, and obviously now we are in the unlock phase where people are still figuring out if they should, how it's going to work for them. So just for those people, what do you think will be a timeline for them to start seeing results through digital marketing, and how they should approach those, what should be their expectation as well?
Right. So that's exactly a very good question, because as digital marketing, every one of us is active on digital platforms. So it tends to give a perception that it's very easy to get results. I mean, it's always better to set your expectations right. And because a lot of times we feel that people fizzle out within few months because they didn't see any results. But actually, if they would have consistently did for another few months, they could have got more results. So I think setting expectations is what you should do. So depending on the platform, I mean, and your objective, the results will vary. Older the platform or popular the platform, it takes time to get results in an organic way where you don't have to pay to the platform to reach your customers. If you want to get instant results, paid marketing will give you instant and measurable results. So you can always tie your spends to the results you're getting and take decisions accordingly. Organic and earned, as I said, will take some time, but it definitely helps in the long run. I mean, a lot of the brands now in the lockdown phase, when they had done these efforts pre lockdown period, they are reaping the benefits of their organic or brand building activities in the lockdown phase, because they are on the top of the mind of people already. So always long term will help you mitigate any storms in the environment. So if I were to put a number, paid, I can be frank in saying you can start seeing results from day one, although it might seem to be expensive and slightly higher on your wallet. And while if you were to get results in an organic fashion where you are using SEO, social media marketing, and stuff like that, you can expect results from 3 to 6 months. That is a timeline you should expect, at
Right.
least.
True. And I think that might also stretch a bit depending on, I mean, because of the current situation, the crisis we're going through. So that's, thanks for answering that. Now, since you're talking about paid advertising, the next question we have is around the budget. A lot of, yeah, a lot of companies are downsizing, they're cutting down budgets. What are your thoughts on that? Is it really wise for them to cut down marketing budgets? If not, what should they ideally do when it comes to budgets?
Okay.
Marketing
Okay.
budgets, I mean.
Yes. Understand. So yes, I mean, it's like a flock mentality when people around start cutting their budgets. And I mean, sometimes, yes, it is necessary. And depending on the situation of your P&L, I mean, that is absolutely the call of the business owner. But I mean, even in the tight budgets, I would not say that, cut down your advertising spends to zero, because then probably you will lose your brand relevance and you will be out of your customer's mind. So probably, yes, the budgets are tight in today's age and today's time. So there can be a lot of ways in which you can actually use these digital channels in a very effective way, so that even in the smallest of the budgets you can get higher returns. I mean, just giving an example, a lot of small businesses, a lot of local businesses in my society, so where I stay, they are actually earning a lot of revenues in the lockdown compared to the pre-lockdown period, just because they have adopted digital technologies. So they are actually penetrating our society groups. They are selling things right from food items to stationery items, which everyone needs. Wherever you feel there is an opportunity, people are just jumping on them and using WhatsApp groups like effectively. I mean, something like this is a very crazy idea, right? You reach societies, and these businesses are actually reaching a lot of societies in their locality. So
True.
their businesses is actually quadrupled, I believe, in this lockdown period. So what their efforts was just to strike up a connect with the local groups and serve the customers there. Make a form and service the form. So all this adoption of digital technology, yes, they underwent that. And they, within that very small budgets, they probably didn't spend a lot of money, but they got the returns there. Another example which comes to my mind is be opportunistic in terms of communication also, because even if you're advertising, if you're spending some money, spend the money wisely in a way that you're not just bombarding or you're just selling products, but you are actually using this opportunity. You're connecting with your users with an opportunity. So one example is, so there is a coffee brand called Sleepy Owl. So
All right.
their target audience is IT professionals, people in advertising industry who consume coffee day in and day out, and they are coffee fanatics, right? So what they did is they actually used a real example from the lives of these people, that
Mhm.
usually tech people take lot of time uploading their files on the cloud. It takes like, there are some GBs worth file, right? So it takes some minutes. So they said, in those minutes, why don't you brew a coffee, which is exquisite and it tastes much better than instant coffee. And this, such kind of communications connect very well to them. And they just created an ad based out of home. They didn't have budgets to, shoot a very high production heavy video, but they just shot it at somebody's place and they used a real life scenario. And that's how they got great coverage. So I mean, this is the kind of things you can do within tight budgets. But I don't think, stopping your marketing activities will help.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And especially now is the time that calls for extra investment into marketing, because the other channels of sales, like direct marketing or, sales cold, all of that
Events.
are like, events
yeah.
don't really happen. So right now is a time when they should be investing high in marketing, for marketing basically. So thanks for sharing that. Now I'm gonna move on to another question from Janam Zaveri. She likes to know if you could give some practical tips on LinkedIn and Twitter, because she's new to this platform. And also there is a question that, okay, the next question I can ask you next, which is around the same social media platforms, but if you get onto this first, then I'll move on to the next one.
So in LinkedIn and Twitter are platforms where a lot of individuals are connected to each other. I mean, I personally am really active on both these platforms. So to actually, if you're a newbie on the platform, and if I actually don't know your objective, but if your objective is to reach out to more people or get connected to more people, I mean, these platforms are really brilliant. I mean, LinkedIn, for a matter of fact, I am connected to a lot of, I mean, I was connected to Rihan on LinkedIn. So that is the first time I met him on LinkedIn. And that's how we are doing this session, because of LinkedIn. So that's one case study already, which says that LinkedIn opens up a lot of opportunities for individuals. I mean, these platforms, be it lead generation, be it finding the right talent, finding the right job opportunity. I mean, these channels do give a lot of opportunities for new people. For Twitter, I mean, so my objective to use Twitter is to consume great content from good writers. So I do follow a lot of writers on Twitter, and I use this platform to learn a lot from these people. I mean, a lot of influencers, a lot of celebrities are on Twitter who share their anecdotes, who share what are they doing, and you can obviously learn from them. So I personally see a lot of writers online, and if you want, you can choose your niche on Twitter. You can start following them, because they share a lot of case studies, and you can learn a lot of them, and you can implement for your own business, or own, basically, if you want to share it for your clients, you can do that. So Twitter, I use it in that way. I mean, if you want to choose a niche, there are plenty of people in each niches, and have a good follower, follow the right people is what I would say for Twitter, so that you can explore a lot of learnings from there.
All right, that's cool. A related question which I want to ask right now is from Chola Trivedi. Which platform works best for architects? Facebook, Insta, or LinkedIn?
Okay. So incidentally, last month we were auditing an architect firm for their social media platforms and their entire digital marketing effort. So for that project, we actually did a good bit of analysis, and we realized that, so architects basically are known, if they want to sell their businesses, sell their services, they put content related to their existing properties which they have designed, and that is one aspect. Like, architects are design focused. Their designs should be unique. What kind of elements they are using, that all those things should be unique. And since it's a visually driven approach, Instagram is the platform which works extremely well for them. We were doing for a Mumbai based firm, so there are 5-6 great Mumbai based firms who are doing great on Instagram. And followed by that, I think even Pinterest, for that matter, a lot of people look for ideas how to redesign their home and what all new things are coming in the interior designing space or an architecture space. Pinterest will definitely, you can leverage Pinterest to put your word out. And Pinterest, actually, no one has explored it in a very typical way like how we use Facebook and Instagram. Pinterest is slightly underused for that matter. But when it comes to discovering great designs, Pinterest is at number one. So if you are active on Pinterest, you can definitely get discovered that quicker than any other platform. And I think Instagram will give you a good leverage.
I totally agree. You know, when it comes to architects, these two platforms will definitely work best. And it matters. I mean, what matters is how the strategies
Right,
behind
right.
these platforms. So yeah, I totally agree with you. It looks like a lot of us are interested more in social media because we have another question uh, around social media again. So I'll just pick it up again. So Shwetank wants to know which social media platform can we use for trajectory growth in business and lockdown, and any practical tips. And Shwetank is referring to food-related businesses.
All right, all right. So it's a favorite topic of mine. So food related businesses. So as I already shared that one of my case examples was that, you know, a lot of food businesses are active to grow in the social media or for even for WhatsApp as a channel, and primarily because food is essential. And
Yeah,
I think when people are staying home, they are consuming a lot of different kinds of food. They are getting cravings
true.
because we are not able to go to our favorite restaurants, and we are still scared to order from a restaurant maybe. So for any food related business, I think the important thing is that you are reaching to your customers, because right now the problem is very few people are actually going out. So you need to understand that if you are a local business, you need to be present near the customer rather than getting the customer to you, because that will be a bigger challenge. So first, focus on if you can reach an area. Let's say I am sitting in a place, so I am in Mumbai, or let's say I'm in Dadar in Mumbai. So Dadar is a place in Mumbai, and maybe I can reach in a radius of 4 kilometers effectively. I mean, I need to first identify which is my target area, and then start doing any activity. Because if I start taking a very ambitious thing that I'll reach entire Mumbai, but it has to be feasible in current day and age. I mean, we have the 2 kilometer rule in Mumbai right now, and probably in other places there are different rules. So that is one thing I think you can first mark down which is your area, and try to reach to a bigger pockets like societies, let's say if there are some corporate parks which are working, definitely they won't have any canteens available, because internal canteens a lot of times they are not allowing. So that is, those are the pockets you can actually think about targeting and reaching out to them. And when it comes to social media, I mean, yes, you can use uh, social media like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. I mean, these are the three platforms which will definitely get a great buy-in for any food related business. And especially Instagram, because Instagram, a lot of influencers are active on Instagram. You can leverage them right now. Even they are out of business, they are not getting enough deals, so they will probably come at a very good cost. You can use those influencers and spreading out your word. I mean, that is something which I would, as a food business owner, will do.
All right. Thanks for sharing that. Uh, I
Just
think we'll move.
sorry, Rian.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just one point. I think
Uh-huh.
7th is a World Chocolate Day. Incidentally, that is a food item. And if you are a confectionery or if you are a sweets business, leveraging such days will get your customers. You will get into a customer's mind, because these days contextual messaging gets great results. I mean, rather than every day saying that I sell chocolates, if you have a day coming up, use those days to its maximum, and that is where you can get tons of business on such days.
All right. That's cool. We have another question around social media, and I think we'll pick that up as well. since we're talking about social media. This is from Ritika Singh. She likes to know any tips on how to outgrow organic reach on social platforms like Instagram and Facebook.
All right. So, as Ritika, I mean, you must be knowing that these platforms now are not incentivizing organic reach directly, just to leverage their ads business. But nonetheless, it is still possible to get organic reach. And in my experience, as I have already mentioned, these contextual messaging gets you the most organic reach because people find your content relevant, and these platforms work on a way where if people start engaging with your content, they will boost on their own organically. So you need to create content which is engaging. Probably you can ask few questions to them, you can take their opinion. Such things definitely help you get more organic reach on both the platforms, because a lot of people want to express their opinion, and if you're providing that opportunity, they will jump onto it. So even in terms of Instagram gives you a lot of opportunities where you can get great engagement and thus greater reach. So you can definitely use a great mix of hashtags, and I keep on pressing to all my clients, and wherever I'm talking about this topic, you experiment with hashtags. You use at least 30 hashtags on Instagram, because Instagram, to get organic reach, hashtags is the only way to do it in today's day. So use very, don't use hashtags like for like or all those spammy hashtags. Please remove them, because if you are using them, it will decrease your reach directly, because these hashtags will not work. Use hashtags based on your industry, who use hashtag based on your location. So let's say if I'm promoting a digital marketing service right now, I will say hashtag digital marketing Mumbai, or I will say
Right.
hashtag digital marketing, because these hashtags are extremely important to me right now. So don't just go with the posts which are spammy, but use good hashtags. If you want to go ahead, you can check some feeds of the hashtags which you are targeting, see what kind of content they are creating, and that's why they are ranking higher on those hashtag pages. So choice of hashtag is something which is extremely important. And maybe I don't know your industry, but basis the industry, we can definitely have a great mix of hashtags, and which will help you get organic reach on Instagram.
Yeah, there are also other. I just want to add there are other ways of increasing organic reach. Obviously, there are so many resources out there, but one of the things is outreach through groups. Relevant groups, which could be a bit of it, it, it. It's extra work, but it definitely can increase your organic outreach, which you should try. And there are a lot more strategies, which I think it's this is going to be an extensive topic in itself. So we could
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
consider,
yeah, 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 yeah.
consider having this as another webinar in the future. For now, I hope that answers your question, Ritika. We're going to move on to the next question. This, I think, will be relevant to the question asked by, who is it? By Shwetank around food-related business, but I think it'll also apply to other industries about Google My Business. How is it how can businesses effectively use it during the unlock phase, and what industries do you think will primarily benefit from this?
Right. So, I mean, Google My Business is an excellent way to capture attention for all the local searches, because Google works in a way where their objective is to give the best result for the user who is searching. And let's say if I'm searching like medicines delivery near me, so all those near me keyword searches are increasing a lot. In the last 5 years, it's said that they have increased nearly 5 to 6 times. So this gives a bigger relevance for uh, creating your Google My Business account and optimizing it so that you can get ahead from all the other local businesses. So I mean, that is one thing which definitely all the local businesses should try. You can you can basically, the idea is you share a lot of information on this page. You share what is your website, where you're based out of, uh, things like that. What kind of services do you provide? Are you open for business? Are you closed for business? Is it only offline? Is it online? All kinds of information you can fill, and that is where you can actually provide a lot of inputs to your user as well as Google, because Google will then start ranking you better. You can also add a unique description. Let's say if you are an ice cream brand, you can always say homemade ice cream brand, because there are queries where people are looking for homemade ice creams, and you can be relevant for them. Or if you're a packaging business, you're a local packaging unit and you want a lot of businesses there, you can always, if you are selling eco-friendly packaging, because it's a niche, you can always mention that on these pages. And it's free to create. Google provides a free platform to create your own local business. There is a verification process involved in it. Probably in the lockdown phase, it's mostly over a call. So you can always get it verified so that you can start listing. Once you have done this, I mean, always encourage your customers to put down a review for you, because Google does consider reviews to be an extremely important signal if you want to rank higher on the searches related to your business. So encourage your customers to write detailed reviews if possible, because not just the rating doesn't work that much. You need a lot of text to be involved. One effective strategy I will share before closing this answer is, if you can engage with these local guides. So Google has local guides. How you have Zomato, there are different levels on Zomato, right? So Google also has different levels, and they are called local guides. So these are the people who have reviewed a lot of businesses, and they have gained those points. So it's a different program, and that is also free. But you can approach this guide. These guides reviews have a decent weight on your Google My Business account. So if you get those reviews, definitely it will help you. And another consistent thing you should do is, you should keep adding your images or videos on your account. Whatever new product you launch, whatever new services you provide, please keep updating with that, because that's how Google will know that you're active and you're fresh, so that that will help you uh, stay relevant for Google's algorithm. And now I think they have a lot of features. Customers can directly send messages to your phone. I mean, that's like, they don't need to even go to your website now if they are interested in you. So I think that is something which all the businesses should leverage. Industries which will primarily benefit are all the industries which are providing services in a particular area. So any food related business, homemade manufacturing of food, or any small units of manufacturing and retail, all the retail shops, they right now, if they are just open for delivery, even that those kind of business should be active on Google My Business. All the food related business, restaurants, cloud kitchens, even salon services. I mean, salon services right now, they are a bigger question mark whether they should be on or no. But these services are essential, and even these services should be listed. So yeah, I mean,
Thanks for sharing that. We have a couple more questions, but before getting to that, there is a related question I have before I ask you that question. So, WhatsApp, you've spoken about WhatsApp a bit. Is there anything extra you want to share on what WhatsApp and how
yes,
business
yes.
should use WhatsApp effectively?
Yeah. So in my examples, I mentioned WhatsApp because that's what recent trends I'm seeing in my own society. So these are mostly based out of group communications, and probably not a very formal way. But in case as a business you want to start taking WhatsApp seriously for business, so WhatsApp does have a different app for it called WhatsApp for Business, and they provide like exclusive features for all local and small business owners, and they have actually made it for them. So they understand what kind of challenges you have. So they allow you to actually reply in an automatic fashion to your customers if they are inquiring. You can set up few automations so that your customers has been responded to, and they feel that they are connected to your business. You can have some quick response templates ready so that you can, have a very quick communication with them. You can, the interesting thing is, if you have multiple products or different services which you offer, you can actually create a catalog, and it will be almost like a catalog which an e-commerce website has. So that catalog is like this catalog will be a miniature version of an e-commerce website, which can allow your customers to browse through your services and choose the right product. So it becomes like a small mini website for you on WhatsApp. And of course, you
All
can
right.
send notifications to your customers. You can message. Hello.
Yes, Tejas, we can hear you. Go on.
Yeah. And of course, you can send notification to your customers. You can inform them of anything new which you are launching. And in the last, if you have a Facebook page of your own, you can link this account to your Facebook page so that you can directly get responses on your WhatsApp. In case you're doing a promotion on Facebook, you can organize all your messages at one place. So that is because WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. You can have that connection as well.
All right, it's quite interesting you're talking about a catalog on WhatsApp for business. So that's definitely something a lot of businesses could be able to explore, would be able to explore. So it's interesting information you shared. Uh, before there is a related question on social media, which is asked,
Okay.
since we're talking about WhatsApp, I think we'll pick this question up again. It's from Arthi. She likes to know, how can I promote financial service on social media?
Okay.
Maybe she's looking for
Uh,
ideas, or probably
right.
platform. Yeah.
So financial services is a very large sector. I mean, insurance, mutual funds, trading, banks. It's a very big sector. So firstly, I mean, for if you are into that sector and you are providing a solution or a service, so uh, you need to choose your, so first you need to identify where your customers are actually spending time. So in case of financial services, I can share a few insights from customers that it's a very complicated kind of an industry, and lot of times we as a customer uh, does not know the nitty gritties which goes inside. Or let's say if they want to buy an insurance product, or they want to, in today's day a lot of people are heading for health insurance. So a lot of people are not aware of what is covered in that insurance. Or like traditionally it has been the case that insurance or any financial product for that matter are not that transparent. And leveraging social media is the best way to actually educate your customers. And I would suggest, if you use your social media to educate your customers about your services, that is one thing, because a lot of people will appreciate that. And financial literacy is a very less penetrated in India. I mean, the numbers are, I don't want to share that because it's very bad. A lot of people do not know about financial services, what a person, like on a personal basis as well as a company basis, what all things I can do. There is personal finance, wealth management, everything. So it's kind of an industry which needs a lot of education. So you can
Yeah.
use platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. I mean, for financial services, all platforms are relevant for me because I have handled a home finance company. So for them, I was doing all kinds of platforms. Of course, each platforms you need to fine tune your communication, but I mean, all platforms are relevant, frankly. But more than the platform choice, I would focus on what are you communicating on those platforms. Because if I'm not doing that correctly, then probably you will not get good results. So my suggestion will be that, be open, be transparent of what you're offering, and break down the product or service into very easy to consume content. And I think that is the one thing which will definitely get you better results.
Yeah, that's a great thought, especially industry like finance is definitely difficult for everyone to understand. So yes, breaking down content into uh, multiple pieces of content is definitely a best approach to get people to understand more about the services offered by a specific financial firm. So it's educating audiences is imperative, at least for industry like that. So I totally agree with you. Uh, I, we have more questions. Uh, I mean, we are almost, it's almost 4, but we have a couple of questions, and if all of you are okay, we could extend this by say another 15 minutes or and see if we can wrap up everything. Uh, and if any of you like to drop off, we can understand. But we have a few more questions from the audience and also what was asked by the audience in the past, so which we have already on the list. So I hope you're okay with sticking around. Yes, having said that, so I just move on to the next question because there is a follow-up question by one of our audiences already today. But let me ask this primary question, which is about websites. Is building a new website, in most cases, most businesses already have it. In those cases, revamping a website, how important is it for digital marketing? How can we evaluate the need for it? When it comes to websites for businesses.
Right. So one thing is for sure, website. It's popularly said that the website is a 24/7 salesperson. So I believe that your website is active all the time, so you don't need to be awake. And website, there are a lot of businesses which people are sleeping and they're still earning money from their website. So that is a possibility through website. And to that was just to set the context, how websites are important. So I mean, yes, there is traditionally website was the starting point of digital marketing. I mean, people started building websites right at the end of 90s, and now after even 25 years, there is still a considerable block when it comes to changing the website or revamping the website or creating a website. Primarily because it's technology focus and heavy on efforts. So but in today's day and age, I mean, this is one thing I want to share, so that I will make it easier for everyone, that building websites, it's not that difficult. Although perception has been built in a way that website building is difficult, you need to hire a web designer. Even a person who knows PowerPoint presentations can build websites in a single day. And I will quickly share that in couple of minutes. So there are platforms available, there is technology available. In case you want to go live faster, you want some property online like a website, there are a lot of tools available in the market. One of them I will share right now is just wix.com. So Wix is an excellent tool if you want to build nicely designed websites. uh, you can design those websites in a very drag and drop fashion. And as I said, it's almost like you're designing a presentation, and I'm sure most of us know how to make a presentation, right? So that is one thing you can build on your own.
Right.
Wix also does a thing that if you answer few questions, they will create a one website already for you, and then you can edit it. So something like that exists in today's day and age, and you can definitely try and explore that. And it's free of cost. Okay, you will be only charged if you want to connect it to your custom domain. And believe me, today they are running a lot of crazy amount of sale, and they charge almost like 350 rupees for a year. Such low entry barrier for a website. And trust me, I have few clients for whom this was the barrier, and we solved it using Wix. They are earning lakhs of rupees just because of this website. Nothing else. They have one page only on the website. They are solving the customer problem in that one page. And I think what next I want to share is that there are tons of platforms like this. There is Weebly, there is Bubble, there is Webflow. You name it, and there are platforms. But what matters after that is that what kind of things you're incorporating in your website. And for a local or a small business, it always, you know we all are passionate. So even I am a small business, right? So I'm really passionate about my business, but I need to effectively communicate that over a small section, because it doesn't make sense that you have tons of pages and people do not have time in today's day to actually explore through. They are very fast. They want to see what they want to. If they like it, they take an action. Otherwise, they drop off. So few sections are important. The first section, which is extremely important, is your first screen of your website. If you are effectively communicating what you're offering in that section and what problem are you solving, you're done for it, because people want to know what you're doing, because they don't want to know, some quote from a big guy or something. They want to know what is in it for me, and what are you doing to do that, what are you going to solve. Okay, so that is first thing. Secondly, you need
Right.
to also mention why they should choose you, because there are tons of people already available offering the same service. Why they should choose you? Maybe you can talk about your USPs. uh, Maybe you are saving costs for the customer, you are giving a better experience. So all these kinds of things you can include in the USP section. Then third thing is obviously what kind of services you're offering, what is the basket of products or services which you are offering. So it need not be that if you have a flagship product, you just mention that. You mention all services there, because it gives a choice to the user. And another thing is testimonials. This is one thing which most websites miss these days, because testimonials are the social proof of today's generation. People rely on them. If you have a written one, or if you have it over an email, I would suggest you share those screenshots, because more more real the content, more believable it is. So that is one thing. And in case you have a chance to get a video testimonial, I mean, that's nothing like it. You have just killed it with it. And I have done it for a few clients, and they have really appreciated this. And the results are like anything. If you have video testimonials, contact form, because if you're not allowing them to register an interest for your services or products, then you are just missing the opportunity for doing business. So contact form is a must for this website, and this is how I will structure my website.
All right. Thanks for sharing the structure as well, in addition to answering the question. We do have a few questions around the website. Amay, I saw your comment. I'll get to that in a minute. Uh, or maybe we'll pick that up first. MS says a professional website must be developed from scratch by coding rather than choosing themes. Issues occur during mobile rendering. Another issue comes when another person has to revamp a website and has to go through the themes. I mean, it's a valid point, but there are different ways of tackling the situation. Now, sorry, I'm answering this, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
no
add.
problem, no problem, no problem. I will add to it.
Yeah, great.
But
What Tejas was referring to is websites that are reluctant in investing in a website design, and a solution to that, is basically using a platform like Wix, because there are themes to choose. Obviously, making changes to the theme would mean, changes to the code, but a platform like Wix and even WordPress themes are easy to make changes, and Wix is pretty more like a drag and drop platform. So it does help. It entirely depends on what you want to achieve through a website and the budgets you have. And if you have a team of developers who could sit and code for you, then or an agency for that matter, who you outsource website development to, who can, uh, code the website for you, then it does. I mean, that's the ideal way of doing things. But again, it entirely depends on your objective, the deadlines you have, and again, the budget. So I agree. This is a big concern in the long run. If you have to, uh, recode or make changes to the website, but if you need a website to go live quickly with a business, probably you just launched and you don't have much budget, and maybe you should just use a platform like this and use themes and customize it. But if you and while that's happening, you could probably have a team working in the background for an entirely, a completely professionally designed website, which can then go live right after this. So, it all depends on your situation and the need to have a website. And apparently, having a website live when you launch a business is important. So, you know, uh, I mean, Tejas, if there's anything you'd like to add to that.
I mean, yeah, you have covered most points. So the thing is, the way basically my answer was to, if there is crunch on time as well as budgets, and then you should go for such platforms. Yes, if you want to make a more technologically superior website, which you can customize to even a single bit of customization, that is the time you actually go ahead with designing the websites from scratch. And but only issue is that not all businesses need this. That is the problem. I mean, not all businesses will actually need so much customization. They would need, so a lot of the business owners I meet, they just worry about their sales and the leads they're generating. So what goes in the background, they are not even concerned. So of course, if I'm a tech company, I'm a tech side business, yes, I would never recommend this. If I'm an e-commerce business where I'm generating revenue on my website, I would never recommend this. But in case I'm a business which runs where I'm not even present on the website, and I want to go fast to the market, test it out, pilot, get few deals, get enough money so that I can invest in a professionally designed website, then I think yes, I would suggest the first approach, and then going to the traditional way and building a website from the scratch.
All right, thanks, Tejas, for that. And that. I have a couple of questions around social media. I'm sorry, the website again. Abdullah and Shwetank wants to know, you know, SEO tips basically. And Abdullah is talking about a new website SEO for a small website. And Shwetank, on the other hand, would like to know how to increase organic reach apart from the keyword research. So Shwetank has a personal food website. So if you have any thoughts around that.
Okay, so for a small or a new website, so as I've already covered that in a previous question, that something like SEO or getting results from SEO is a time-consuming activity. It takes more than 3 to 6 months at least, primarily because a lot of content has been already created in the digital space in terms of website, blogs. There are more than 1 billion blogs already on the planet, and we are 7 billion people. So you imagine the amount of content which is already created and you will be competing against. So that is the reason why ranking higher is a time consuming process. So that is first thing I want to say, so that your expectations are set. Secondly, if I'm a new website or a small website, I need to understand which industry I am working on, or what are the relevant keywords for my brand. And there are tools like Google Keyword Planner or Uber Suggest, which are free of cost. Even anyone of us can go and put in our website and see what keywords are on what keywords we are ranking and what is our rank. So all these information is important to take a call on what all things I need to optimize for. So in that keyword research, usually you will get few keywords which are extremely difficult to, they are very generic keywords, something like the industry word itself. So if I'm doing, let's say I'm taking an example, food industry. So I want my keyword will be food or recipes or stuff like that. These will be extremely difficult to rank on because these are very generic terms. A lot of people are already created content on this. There are websites who have higher domain score. Domain score is basically they are more trusted by Google to rank. So that is those keywords are very difficult to rank. What I would suggest for someone who is new is to target those long keywords. So let's say how to create a food website, or how to start in food industry. So something like this, which is a longer keyword, will have less competition. There will be content already written to it, but you can easily, so it is like how you fit in your product in your current space. So you need to see your competitors first. Who is ranking on the top 10 ranks? What kind of content they have writing? Are they tackling this question effectively, or there is still a gap which you can fill? So if, let's say, I am talking about food industry right now, if I'm a food blogger, let's say, and Recently Dalgona coffee was like extremely doing the rounds, and even Google, it was a trending keyword. So at that time, Dalgona coffee, there were a lot of people didn't know about it, as well as there was not enough content available. So such trends you need to tap on the immediate basis and create full detailed content on it. Do some research on it and create content which covers almost all topics possible. If you can share some videos on your blog or videos on your website, that will also help in SEO, so that you are completing entire information about that one keyword. So such keywords you can find through Google Trends, any trending keywords, or in your industry find some long tail keywords which have less competition and high volume. So in that case, these is the right approach to start doing SEO. And of course there are multiple, like there are 200 signals which Google takes, which I cannot cover right now. But I mean, if I were to start off, I would first focus on these two factors.
All right, thanks for sharing that. For all our participants, just want to say we do have a couple of questions which we think will be of high interest to you, especially on ROI. We're going to just continue and try to answer those in addition to a couple of questions left here, because Amir has asked about videos, which we do have a question around. And I'm going to get to that. Like it's the slide after next, so I'll get to that. So I hope you're okay with that. So we just will continue with the questions. Yeah. So yeah, this is about social media and ROI. You did talk a bit about social media and how it helped. But one of the questions that most of SMEs have in mind is how is it directly contributing to the business's bottom line? Not from the ads perspective, but the, social media organic outreach or organic campaigns run on social media. How is it contributing towards ROI? Or how is it generating ROI rather?
Okay. So I would be frank saying that ROI, calculating ROI on organic reach and on such platforms is challenging, because getting direct business from these platforms without spending a money, that is slightly challenging, because these platforms do not encourage users to go out to another website, or go out to another place where you can actually capture the sale or something like that. So they do not like links being shared, and Instagram does not allow links altogether. So I mean, it's a challenge. But like how we use it for our clients, I will share that so that it can get a good insight for anyone who wants to measure ROI. So what we do is, ruling out that you can get a direct ROI, I can actually use these channels to create engagement for my brand, so that people either like what I'm sharing, or either they are commenting on it, or they're sharing. So these are the signals which I want to create from my users. Okay, so this is something which I will get as engagement. And how will I get engagement is, we have shared that you shared valuable content, you solved their problems, solved their pain points, and be contextual, tap the trends, so that you are relevant, right? So using that engagement, what happens is, on Facebook or on Instagram or any other platform, you can leverage this engagement to create audiences. Okay, and when you create these audiences, right, these audiences are really powerful when it comes, if you want to start paid advertising after this, these audiences will actually be very cost effective, because they have already interacted with your brand, and you don't need to sell them much. You just need to put a nudge to them so that they can convert. So for a brand which we handle, what we do is, we use videos for them, because videos give the maximum engagement in current day and age. So videos are also important because they will tell a story for my brand, and users generally retain 95% of information if they see a video. So that is the reason we use videos for them. And we target audiences later in a campaign which is paid, to the people who have actually watched our video. And trust me, our metrics have, the cost of acquisition has reduced to 50% once we have started doing that. So you can basically optimize your budgets by actually doing the right kind of social media, and that is how you can actually measure the ROI, right, in a absolute terms. And another aspect, this is when I'm talking from the sales perspective, because most of our businesses are focusing on sales today. When it comes
Yeah.
to brand building, these platforms gives tremendous brand building, because I have seen behaviors where successful social media campaigns are leading to branded keyword searches on Google. So what does this mean is that if I'm sharing good content, it's been liked by people, it's, I'm adding value to them. Users, when they are going to Google, they search from our brand name. And that I have seen multiple times for the brands which we have executed good campaigns. So during that time, our branded keywords have increased. And this is like gold mine for people. If you have branded keywords, definitely your website will be ranked on number one, and that is how they can come to your website and you can convert. So that is an indirect way. So I would suggest use these platforms in an indirect way to increase your absolute ROI on the efforts.
All right. Yeah, that's I think the right way of looking at it. Since you spoke about videos, obviously the next question also was about video.
Yeah.
You know, uh, you know, what's like you did explain examples of using video, but how important is video for any brand, and any types of videos you think you could create? And one question that Omer has asked about it is animated promotional videos. He wants to know if those are vague. So maybe if you could address that as well when you talk
Okay.
about videos,
Okay.
and
Okay.
possibly if there is a way to link that to ROI.
All right. All right. All right. So right. So I mean, I would start with why video. Like people, people do ask this question because video production has a, in your mind you start calculating uh, costs, and it starts with six figures directly. So I mean, that is the kind of perception most people have about videos. And but I would like to share some facts that before COVID, the average time or average video consumption for a user in India was around 25 minutes. It increased to 30 minutes during the COVID, which is like significantly almost 25% increase. And it is expected that it is going to increase more than two times in the coming days because of many reasons. I mean, people do not have enough entertainment options, and that is the reason video is the best form of entertainment. So video consumption is taking a great boost in this lockdown period. And why it's important for a brand to create videos, because videos can tell a story which any other content type cannot take cannot tell that story. Because you can tell, you can engage with people in a way, in a very emotional way. And there are multiple factors. You can use music, you can use voiceover, you can use different animations, you can use live people actually speaking to you. All these things is actually a step ahead from the usual content which we share, which we see. So that is one reason. I mean, for a brand to be active and doing a lot of videos definitely helps creating a great brand. Having said that, what kind of videos usually uh, products or companies or service provider companies or product companies create? So for a product, it maybe it's a tech product or any new product which is being launched, how it works, or what led to this product or innovation. All these videos are the usual types which all companies and brands says. Probably a demo of a live demo. Uh, all these types are relevant. But what I would recommend for most people is to go one step beyond, because these are very hygiene videos which most companies will end up doing. So I would suggest you go one step ahead. If you're a SME, for that matter, so I really recommend people to have a founder speaking about your brand or a product. in some cases, sharing where did he get this idea from, what was his vision, what he wants to do, because these videos people are really interested. A lot of people are interested in what is the founder speaking, or because everyone likes, entrepreneurs are like popular people, right? A lot of people want to be in entrepreneurship but cannot for some reasons, so they really want to know about their lives and how did they come from. So these videos really have an impact on your brand. And and it's not very difficult. I mean, today we have such kinds of cameras. You can just pop up your selfie camera and shoot a video, and there are these founders. I mean, uh, Nearby's co-founder Ankur, he is very active on such videos. There are a lot of founders who do this and have successfully helped their brands grow in a big way. So that is one step ahead I would recommend people to go. And I think one of the questions was animated videos, right? See,
Yeah, that's right.
animated videos. See, there are, so as I said, you can do uh, animated videos, you can do live videos, you can do slideshow based videos, or you can use some stock footages, right? So for each type of video, there is a separate budget, to be frank. And animated videos, why a lot of people you see animated video is very inexpensive. I mean, it's very fast to make. There are tools available in the market which do not cost you a lot, and they can get your story out in a fast basis. Because see, like from my experience, tons, like almost 80% of the clients want faster solutions, and that is the reason you see a lot of animated videos in the market. And there are tools like Render Forest or Beyond, which below 10,000 rupees you can create an excellent video. And we have done that for some clients and they are really happy with it. So and there are like thousands of templates to be used. So animated video is a faster way to do it. I don't see, unless, so if you think they are vague, I mean, don't think that visually you need to create excellent content, but you need to also have the story part of it. If you're not connecting you're not connecting to your customers, then yes, those videos will be vague. But let's say I am effectively sharing, I'm getting a buy-in from customers that yes, there is a pain point which needs to be addressed, and how my product is actually addressing that pain point and effectively doing it. So just to give an example, I spoke about the handheld sterilizers few questions back. So we are actually making a video for them, and we are investing a lot of time and efforts in getting the story right before actually going to create an animated video. So in that case,
Right.
getting the story and script right is extremely important, so that your videos are not looking weak. So I don't think the platform or the type of execution matters in this case, but how are you communicating that? What is your story? Which is your first screen? What is the second screen? What is the third screen? And how you weave it together? That is important.
Yeah, I agree. And again, Amel wants to know if, since you spoke about free tools available, he wants to know if you have any suggestions for an amateur person to create videos like these for the brand.
Yeah. So as I said, for animated videos, there is a tool called Render Forest. If you want, I can type in quickly
All right.
so that uh, Render Forest. There is Beyond. So there are hundreds of tools, but I, like, after my experience, these are the one which are great, good for user experience, for creation also, and allows a lot of customizations, fair bit of customization. So these tools, I think, are great. There are tools like Animito, Bytable, but they are not that great. I mean,
All right.
they provide
All
less
right.
features. Yeah.
True. Thanks for sharing that. I hope that answers your questions. We're just going to move forward to the most important question, which every CEO or CMO has on their mind when it comes to SMEs. How can digital marketing? I mean, what's the ROI for digital marketing? And especially right now, you mentioned about the cost being low. At the same, when it comes to paid advertising, but also the conversions are equally affected, right, because of this crisis. So how can we, help get buy-in for digital marketing from companies, and how can we show them the ROI from digital marketing?
Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, rightly said. ROI, like even someone who's starting a business knows the importance of ROI, and uses it as one of the best metric to track all these spends, irrespective whether it's on digital, offline, or any other spend. So ROI is a very popular term these days. And so when you talk about digital marketing, right? So see, how I would assess this is, see, there are people in today's, even after lockdown, there are people who are buying things online. Yes, the number of people buying has reduced drastically, but there are people who are going to buy, right? And how do you identify it? First, I have already shared this, but speak to your customer, who is your current customer, and find out reasons why they are buying from you, because that is extremely important to know. Because see, you do not have enough leverage now, so you probably, there is less room for experimentation in today's day. So I would suggest to actually get down to why exactly they are buying from you, and first identify that, and then focus all your energies and all your communication on that point. And that is one thing which can help getting extremely high ROI. Second is, so I'm trying to share things which will help you get better ROI. Okay, so an ROI is basically sales you receive uh, on the spends you do on these platforms, right? So you need to increase the sales while decrease or keep the denominator constant. So that is one thing you need to mathematically understand, so that you can define those efforts accordingly. So what I do to increase the sales from the current spends, what I do is I target my audience, segment my audience effectively. I do not reach out to all customers. I only reach out to very high performing audience. So in one example I can share is, we are working with a client who is into fantasy gaming. It is
All
basically
right.
like similar to Dream 11. So it's that company. Okay, so for them what we are doing is, they also are low on cash and they want to achieve more ROI. What we are doing is we are creating segments of their customers who are, so they have so much data. They have almost a lakh users per month who are active. So from them they know that their top 10,000 users are the ones who are spending a lot of money on their platform, and that's where they are making their money. So if we are doing any digital marketing, we are focusing on this segment alone right now. Either we are remarketing to them, we are asking them to play more, or we are creating similar audiences from those 10,000 users, and we are reaching out to only those people. And that is how we are increasing the ROI. We are not marketing, or we are not spending a dime on people who are not going to convert or who are not going to spend on my app. So that is one way to actually narrow down your focus and get extremely high ROI. One more example I will share. This is for B2B. So I shared for B2C, right? So this is for B2B. So we have a client who is a trader, an aluminum trader. Okay, so for him, we
All
are
right.
running campaigns from almost 3 years, and we are getting 10 times to 15 times the amount of money we are spending on advertising as an ROI, which is huge. And that is the reason why B2B allows you to get extremely high ROI, because the deal sizes are very big. So you need to reach to the right customer who is willing to pay a big amount. So in that case, what did we do is we only focused on few keywords. We use only Google ads for them to get this ROI. And their market, no one else is advertising in today's day and age. There were Chinese companies who were advertising on Google, but in India, as a trader, no one else was advertising when we started out. So that is the opportunity we saw, and we leveraged it to its maximum. And now the campaigns are running extremely well because we have data or history worth 3 years. So we can
Right.
optimize it in a way that we are always on the top and we are getting the best ROI on it.
Okay, that's cool. And ROI is actually a topic which requires a lot to discuss about because there are several factors that
Yeah.
uh, influence it. So, well, I think what Yvonne said, uh, your answer does answer the question. Yeah, so I think actually it's 4:33. We're going to just wrap this up. There's one question which is unanswered from Sonali. She wants to know if we have any specific tips for an online language learning platform. I think hers is an online language learning platform. So this is the
Okay.
last question, and maybe we could answer this, and then we could wrap this up after that. Yeah.
Right. Right. So yes, Sonali, your question is about any tips for online learning platforms. So first thing is, I would like, I do not have all the information, but what how would I approach is to first identify which audience I'm going to reach out to. So is it the people who are still in school, because school also a lot of people learn different languages, or these are working professionals, or they are someone who are a bit elder. So I will first split the audience in three. Probably as a marketer, I will think to get better ROI, I will focus on the younger audience because they are more easy to acquire in terms of they know, they have been using online platforms to learn. So that is the first step I would suggest. And I'm assuming you have a good app and a good website on which your content is being hosted. So that is an assumption I'm taking. How do you reach out to customers? I mean, there are multiple ways. I mean, we were consulting one similar client where they were having only content related to commerce stream. So as you know, we have art, science, and commerce. So they were only focused on commerce. So one of the strategies which worked for them, and which I would suggest with you also, is to tie up with few existing coaching classes, because this is actually based on insights from the study we did. So a lot of these local shops or local owners, they have limited students, right? So maybe they have 100, 200, or 300, maybe 500 students whom they are catering to because of the location and area constraint. So as a online platform, you can tie up with these people and help them achieve more sales through your platform. And how do you do it is that you can actually onboard them on your platform, and whoever is registered on their platform or on their coaching classes, you get them on your platform. And that's how you can, in bulk, you can start acquiring users. This one thing I think was exceptionally done for them, and they are really doing great. So because there are tons of things you can do for B2C. I mean, you can do Google ads, Facebook ads, but acquiring those 1 2 customers, or in some digits, it will take a lot of your efforts and monies, because it's a highly competitive market today, because uh, platforms like Vedantu, Byju's, they are heavily investing in online marketing for acquiring consumers on their apps. So for an online language learning, you can definitely tie up with these local guys, get them on board. Probably you can also tie up with them to create more content, so they can also be part of that, so that you will be focusing on your online platform, how you're servicing your customers well, and you can focus on technology and give the most to your user, and the rest thing can be taken care of these guys. I think this is one thing I can suggest immediately. Otherwise, things like SEO, Google ads, I think will help you get more app installs, because if you definitely will have an app. So even Facebook and Instagram are the good platforms to start off with. And if you are having one audience which usually people don't target, is the parents, because today their kids, they have very few things to do. So probably you can target parents on Facebook. You can actually target parents of around 0 to 15 years. There are different segments you can target, and you can communicate in a way that, because language learning is something which has to do with so it's known that, if someone knows more languages, it's makes him or her more a global citizen. So today I can see a trend of, people are learning Mandarin, Spanish, German, so that in future these students can actually go to these countries and do a lot of things there. So probably this can be a hook for the parents, and that's how you can get more users.
All right, we've actually it's 4:38. Thank you very much, Tejas, for all the answers, and I really appreciate your patience, and also the attendees. Thank you very much for being patient with us. You have any
My
more
pleasure.
questions? Yeah. So if you have any more questions, you can always reach out to us, and we'll be happy to answer. Obviously, we'll have more sessions in the future where we'll talk about a lot of these things from different perspectives. So, you know, um, thanks again, everyone, for attending the webinar. It's been it's been great because a lot of you have been asking a lot of questions. So I appreciate you interacting with us. So thanks again, and thanks again, Tejas, for your time. We'll see you again for the next webinar, and enjoy your weekend.